And good afternoon, everyone. Don Pritchard here, broadcasting live from in front of City Hall for the 2008 St. Genevieve County Fair Parade, right here on AM 98 and B93.1 FM, and simulcast on St. Genevieve Community Access Television, Channel 98. And with me we have Paula Wilkerson, who's the Fair Parade chairperson, chairperson, and she is here because unfortunately Al Foltz, who usually joins me for these broadcasts, is in the hospital. I understand he had some situation with his pacemaker.
Yeah, we talked to him yesterday afternoon, and they got his pacemaker reset, according to him, and started him on some different medications and wanted to check him out for a few days. So he gets to lay in lap of luxury in the hospital for a few days while we're all out here sweating and worrying whether this is going to come off at a bang and be a good fair.
Well, Paula, we have a lot of information to pass along to our audience during the next few minutes, so stay tuned, folks. We've got lots of information for you about the St. Genevieve County Fair, the 2008 edition. The parade will be getting underway at 4:30 at Route M and Progress Parkway, and of course it'll take about 15 minutes, maybe a little more, to get to this point, and then we'll have the live parade coverage. But right now, let's take a break here on AM 98 and B93.1 FM. You're listening to live coverage of the 2008 St. Genevieve County Fair Parade. See how easy that is?
I'm a good talker.
I just got to remember what year it is.
Yeah.
And what county we're in.
I wish you would show up with my list of...
He said you had a good broadcast there.
What?
You came in good down there. He said you came in good down there.
I would hope so. Well, I can hear it in my headphones. Hello, people.
What?
What was that?
He said you're not supposed to.
The first ones in line are Vic Jokers and St. Gen Fire Department, and probably the retiring Queen, and
Okay, 30 seconds. Because he tells, I know how many commercials he's going to do in each break.
good. Yeah, there he is.
Make sure we're lined up.
Yep.
It looks like we're not quite lined up.
He said you are.
Stand by. And welcome back to our live coverage of the 2008 St. Genevieve County Fair Parade here on AM 98 and B93.1 FM. And the cable folks in St. Genevieve are watching us on Channel 98. Paula Wilkerson has joined me today. She is the chairman of the parade, and we've got a couple of announcements we need to pass along first off. And one of those concerns parking at the fairgrounds. Now, there's plenty of parking at the fairgrounds, but don't park at Riverview at the Park Care and Rehabilitation Center. We got word for the folks up there that that parking lot is reserved for clients and visitors to the care center and not for fairgoers, so don't park there, okay?
Very good.
You like that?
Yes, that's a good option.
And there has been a minor change in the horse show this evening. Apparently, they're not going to be able to do the speed events because of soil conditions. Have you heard anything, details on that?
No, but it is pretty muddy up there in certain areas. They're trying to dry the track out as I speak with chemicals and stuff and grading it, but we're hoping to get the other events in tonight.
Right. I don't know. I'm not a horseman, so I don't know all the different events they have.
I'm
But
not either.
the speed events are the ones that are affected by the soil conditions there. So those are the two announcements to make. Everything else is going just fine. We are enjoying a little bit of cloudiness right now. Thank you very much, because otherwise it'd be very, very hot out here. But Paula, let's start off by talking about what does it take to put a parade together.
Well, I was a little leery of it because my husband dropped it in my lap last year. But it really wasn't that bad. The last few days have been a little need to be by the phone constantly because people are calling at the last minute to say, can I still get in the parade? It started on July 1st when all the applications were due. But we have no problem with that. You can just show up and get in the parade. Plenty of people along the parade route to throw the candy, plenty of kids to enjoy the parade. We hope to have a bigger parade this year than we've had in the past. Being an election year, that usually is true. And we are looking forward to a non-rain today.
Okay. We enjoy the clouds, but we don't want precipitation. And I think we're going to take another break. When we come back, we'll have more information for you about the 2008 St. Genevieve County Fair Parade. In fact, we're going to talk about the parade route, so you can make plans to head out to the parade route right now and enjoy the parade as it passes by. You're listening to live coverage of the 2008 St. Genevieve County Fair Parade here on AM 98 and B93.1 FM. I'm making Elmo work in Perryville. He's sitting there listening to me. When do I start the break? When do I start the break? We doing good?
Yeah. It's an excellent broadcast.
I think the limiter maybe turned up a little bit too high, because I noticed that it's really
That's on the limiter?
it's a lower one. It's the it's the one we use for dubbing.
Yeah.
If you just bring it down a little bit, I'll do some talking. I guess we want it just barely to go, red on the peaks. It's probably continuously red right now.
I'll wait till you broadcast.
Okay.
No, my son gave me advice this morning. He says, just remember what you always told me as a kid. Stop and think before you open your mouth. I'm like, I don't ever remember telling you that.
Well, I don't think that was a power change. That must have been lightning hitting the AM tower, because it just quit for a second.
Hey, everybody's got one to set me up, and I'm working.
What?
Everybody's got a shirt to set me, and I'm videotaping.
I can't hear a thing.
Okay, because I didn't get one last year.
Why not?
They said they only had was small.
Larger, well, all we did was get kid sizes last year. Large or extra large? This is a large, and he's got an extra large.
Well, since I got almost the same size he does.
Ooh, got hit by lightning again. Our AM tower at Brewer. You can, every
no,
time.
At least it's south of here.
Yeah, every time he gets hit by lightning, it goes off the air for half a second. What?
He wants a count.
What?
He wants a count.
A count of what?
Whatever you feel like.
Welcome back to our coverage here on AM 98 and B93.1 FM of the 2008 St. Genevieve County Fair Parade. And the skies do look a little threatening to our north, but we're hoping everything will work out and we'll have a splendid parade and even better fair.
Correct, but for the last couple of months on Friday afternoons, we've had rain.
Exactly.
And I put out my prayers this morning, and I hoped that it would all go away by this afternoon, but it's threatening, but we're just going to keep praying that it goes away.
Okay.
Goes to Illinois side.
Let's talk about the parade route. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the parade kicks off at 4:30 sharp at the intersection of Route M and Progress Parkway. And from there, where does it go?
We're going to head east, I guess it is, on M Road to the intersection there of Highway 32 or St. Genevieve Drive, cross over there, and cross over to Center Street, 4th Street, make a right, and head up towards town, and on our way to the fairgrounds.
Once you make that right turn off of Rozier onto Center Drive or 4th Street, that's pretty much it. No more turns.
Exactly, until you turn into the fairgrounds.
Exactly. And I know, speaking of, we mentioned the Riverview at the Park Care and Rehabilitation Center earlier, because you're not supposed to park there. I'll underline that again. But all the residents, I've noticed, they will actually sit out with their lawn chairs if the weather's nice and watch the fair parade from their vantage point up on the hill.
Oh, the senior residents up there just love it. They sit up there under the canopy, and I notice they have an awning out there that those that are able, family members maybe, can bring their relatives out. They thoroughly enjoy watching this parade come in. And festivities that go on all weekend long.
Exactly. We're talking with Paula Wilkerson. She is the chairman of the 2008 St. Genevieve County Fair Parade, and our coverage will continue of the parade right here on AM 98 and B93.1 FM.
Sound better?
I think so.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I felt something hit the back of my
What do you
leg.
think?
It's good. Very good. Just had a raindrop, Don.
What?
There's nothing over our county.
Nothing?
On the radar.
No rain at all on our
All
county?
south.
All south of us.
Yeah, but we just had a drop here.
Well, that'll happen.
Somebody
If that
spit on
happens, you can lower the tripod a little bit and just pull it under there.
There's
Yeah.
nothing on the radar over us
And we can go back in the corner here.
as far as rain's concerned.
Yeah.
You can use that camera too to go that way.
I can't hear you.
You can use that camera to go that way.
Why does he talk to me when I got headphones on?
You ain't deaf. You need some St. Jude Community Council.
What?
Don't help. You need some St. Jude Community Council. Hey, they don't help. Call a doctor. You need some chronic rehab. No, well, I got enough SGI enough rehab.
It's wicked over there.
Radar shows it's all south. Well,
But is it moving east or is it moving?
Yeah, it's moving from west to east. He said it's all south of us.
all south.
Do you want to talk about the parade judges?
I don't even know. I don't even know who it is. Mike Fleeg takes care of that. His
Okay,
daughter. I have
okay.
no idea.
Well, what we could do is we could just walk on over there and introduce them. Okay, stand by. Welcome back to our live coverage of the 2008 St. Genevieve County Fair Parade here on AM 98 and B93.1 FM and in St. Genevieve on Cable Access Channel 98. And we have with us Paula Wilkerson. She is the chairman of the Fair Parade this year, kind of by convincing by her husband. You know, as a husband myself, we have to use nefarious ways sometimes to get wives to do what we want them to do. How did Larry convince you that this was something you wanted to do?
Well, the fact is that I'm the brains behind the man, so I pretty much was organizing it to begin with, making sure everything was written down, and it didn't take too much convincing because leave it to him and he gets things a little mixed up, so I was all right with it.
Okay, very good. I hope Larry is listening to that. That'd be great. Okay, let's talk about the parade lineup. What are the kinds of things that we're going to see in the parade this year?
Well, we have a lot of antique tractors. Those guys come out every year without failure. And then we have several, most of the fire departments bring at least one piece of their equipment with them to put in the parade. We have numerous candidates that are running for political office this year. Hopefully we'll have a lot of kids on floats and kids in pickup trucks, because our theme this year is Our Children, Our Future. And I want to see them enjoy it and honor them.
Mm-hmm. I think there was something very unique done this year as far as the Grand Marshal is concerned. Would you be able to tell us about that in just a moment?
Sure.
Okay. Paula Wilkerson, the Fair Parade chairperson here on B93.1 FM and AM 98, and we're going to talk some more with her as we continue our run-up to the St. Genevieve County Fair Parade. It should be getting underway in about 2 minutes here at the intersection of Progress Parkway and Route M, and that's a cool breeze that just came through here. I like that. We're going to take a break now and be back with more of our coverage on AM 98 and B93.1 FM. Did you feel that?
Yeah.
That was good.
It was almost chilly. It felt so good.
Yeah, you need to be our radar watcher. You need to stay down there and monitor the radar. And if it looks like a storm's coming our way, you can tell us to duck and cover.
Hey, you ain't got to tell me twice because there's air conditioning.
Watch out, there's
Oh, buddy.
cars blowing everywhere. We're going to come by and interview you guys a little bit.
Oh, no.
Have you introduced yourselves on the air? How's that sound?
Well, we're supposed to be secret.
What?
Be secret.
I know, because you're the parade judges.
What's the theme?
Isn't there
this
supposed to
year?
be more of you?
This year is our children, our future.
Oh, you're supposed to follow me around there. So people wonder, where'd they go? Where'd they go? We're still here. Okay, we'll talk about the Grand Marshal thing,
One shot there.
and then we'll take another break, and then we'll go and talk to them.
All right. Oh.
Yeah, that feels good.
Supposed to let me know that too.
Look at, we're down to here. We got this many to do before the parade starts, because we don't take a break during the parade.
Right.
Because, yeah, I mean, you can't stand out there and say, hold it up, we got to wait for the commercial.
I've noticed that, yeah. I don't know. I think that stuff might be moving this way. And flags are blowing.
Hmm?
Those flags are blowing this way. What would that be, out of the south?
Yeah, but the cells are moving to the west, or from the west to the east.
Because there's...
It's right here.
What?
It's right here.
What?
Cell phone's right here.
What?
That cell phone's right here.
That is the place.
Okay, stand by. Welcome back to our live coverage of the 2008 St. Genevieve County Fair Parade here on AM 98 and B93.1 FM. My guest is Paula Wilkerson, who we might mention is filling in for Al Fultz, and our thoughts are with Al this evening as he is in the hospital, having his pacemaker tuned up, I guess you could say. Got to go take it in for the 3,000-mile oil change and lube job and all that.
I guess that's what it would be, yeah. I don't know if he overdid it this week with the heat or if he just was due to have a checkup and didn't tell anybody. But when I spoke with him yesterday, I said, you had better be really sick or else.
Yeah. Well, our thoughts are with Al Fultz, who we understand should be coming home Sunday. Is that correct?
We hope so. I hope he's doing a lot better and he's able to join Sunday, because I know he sure misses when he's not down here. He gets a kick out of doing this every year. I don't think we'll ever be able to get rid of him.
Okay, let's talk about something special that was done this year. Usually each year the fair, I'm not sure how this is done, so you can tell me, but there is an announcement made of a grand marshal. Usually it's an individual who will lead off the parade and ride in the car that says grand marshal, and that person is picked, I guess, based on a number of things. But this year there is, I don't want to say no grand marshal, but there are lots of grand marshals.
Correct. When we chose this theme, Our Children, Our Future, you just couldn't pick just one particular child, one particular organization, one particular group of kids. So that's why I decided that all the kids that are in the parade this year, they're the grand marshals. Small, toddlers, high school, whatever age they are, they're our grand marshals, because our children are our future.
Oh, that's indeed right. Now, you're going to have a few of them up front in the car?
To start off with, I believe the retiring queen from last year, Rachel Shrimp, should be in one of the lead cars. She did an excellent job last year as queen. She'll be the one leading us in the national anthem when we get to the fairgrounds this afternoon. So, yeah, she's been an excellent queen for the county fair.
Okay, very good. Again, we're talking with Paula Wilkerson, who is the fair chairperson, and I do want to say that she was pressed into duty at the last minute, as soon as I found out that Al would not be available to talk to us during the broadcast, I made a few phone calls, and Paula said, I guess I'll do it.
I was kind of like almost I had to do it or else, but no, this has been a great day. I'm glad to see it cool down a little bit. That's really awesome, but I hope that everybody stays safe today and tonight. Enjoy the fair and enjoy your weekend. We're glad to have you.
Well, looking at the clock on the front of City Hall, looks like the fair parade has begun at Rozier and Progress Parkway, Route M and Progress Parkway. So we're going to take another break, and when we come back, we're going to talk to the election judges, not election judges. We're talking to the parade judges. We're talking to the parade judges who are going to be the ones judging the various entries and determining who will win top prize in this year's parade. You're listening to live coverage of the 2008 St. Genevieve County Fair Parade here on AM 98 and B93.1 FM.
Okay, we're just gonna walk over here. Pay attention.
It is most original and best decorated, right?
Right, that's what
Okay.
it was last year.
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure I had that.
We threw it in an honorable mention.
Yep, I hear.
The winner gets $25 to fair board or something. Or
No.
donate for their church. Is it more? I don't know.
Well,
For their
now,
charity.
yeah. Well, like last year it was a Girl Scout troop. One of them was, so that went to the Girl Scout troop, and then the other one was First Bank, and they, the money went back to the 4-H council. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I mean it's a nice. Oh, mercy. Canopy, stay where you're at. Oh, I know. Get one good gust and it's just going to go right over. Well, must be on their way pretty good.
I see 2 nails in the whole thing.
Mm-hmm. That was because last year they had a rickety old thing.
And the nails ain't gonna hold it because they bent over.
Well, we don't have anything tying it that way from blowing this way.
It's tied to the trailer.
Tied to the trailer, yeah, but
It could go.
Yeah, they could have put a brick back there and tied it.
we had to scrounge for a brick or something just to even raise up with the jack
We
and
could have put Don's truck over here and tied it in.
And welcome back to our live coverage here on AM 98 and B93.1 FM of the 2008 St. Genevieve County Fair Parade. We're joined now by the parade judges who are going to be telling us some of the things that they have to consider as they judge the entries in the parade. First off, we're going to let this fellow introduce himself and tell our listeners who he is.
I'm Dennis Toopy Hook, former presiding commissioner, now semi-retired, and got into this job back in 2003 or 4 whenever it first started, and haven't been able to give it up since, or give it away, put it that way.
Okay, what are some of the things you consider as you look at the parade entries for the prizes, and are there categories?
Well, the parade committee every year comes up with a theme, and this year it's our children, our future, and we look for basically the best decorated and the most original to follow the theme. We always have a good selection of tractors and vehicles, and fire departments are well represented in the parade every year, so it makes a real nice parade.
It sure does. Well, thank you so much, Toopy. And over here we have another election. I keep saying election judge. Why is that? Another parade judge. Tell me who you are and what do you think about the judging of the parade?
Sherry Mueller. I don't know, it's a nice thing. We get to sit here and watch it and enjoy it, and hope everybody enjoys it. And they have a lot of fun.
And you're in the shade here.
Yes.
We treat our parade judges very well, don't we?
Yes, we do.
Okay, I hear a siren. That could be the start of the parade, so we're going to have to take another break right now here on AM 98 and B93.1 FM. Is that the start?
I guess it's a start. I'm not sure.
We'll have two breaks after the parade. Because I don't want to break in the middle of the parade.
No. Not unless we have a lull.
They moving pretty fast to get here that quick.
Yeah. They want to dodge the raindrops too, I guess.
Well, okay, stand by. Stand by. Once the parade starts, don't look at us. Look at the parade, of course. Yeah, we can get back up in here a little bit.
Yeah, get out of the rain.
And welcome back to our live coverage of the 2008 St. Genevieve County Fair Parade. And the parade has just reached City Hall in St. Genevieve. We've seen the honor guard, the color guard, and they post those flags on the front of the Jeep so they don't have to walk all that way.
Hey, that's exactly right. They get heavy after a while. We've had the honor guard by the VFW, driven by Vic Jokers, Howard Dohack from the Sheriff's Department, the St. John City Fire Department, big pumper truck. Now we've got the St. John County Hospital and Riverview at the Parks vehicles.
They've got big doings later on this summer with their new emergency department
It's
open.
going to be grand when they get that open. Here's our Rachel Shrimp, the retiring queen. Dennis Ritchie, running for senator from Farmington, and he's really glad to be invited. Next, we've got Gibbons. He's running for Attorney General. He's currently the President Pro Tem of the Missouri Senate. He served in the state legislature for over 16 years, is now actively campaigning to be Missouri's next Attorney General.
That van must be Kevin Engler's.
Okay, yeah, Kevin Angler. He wants to make sure everybody gets out and votes.
You bet. A couple of tractors here, John Deere's.
Yeah, good. Couldn't go on without John Deere tractors in our parade. Crown equipment. Happy to see them. They're moving along pretty good.
Well, how many tractors did they bring?
Oh, as many people as they could get to drive them, I'm sure.
I mean, we've got tractors as far as you can see to the north and as far as you can see to the south.
I hope nobody's out there wanting to get anything done at John Deere, because I believe all their employees are here.
Go with that tripod, please. And the rain has begun, and it's begun in earnest too. Look at that, it's really coming down. But we are sheltered here, fortunately, unless the wind picks up. Go ahead, we're still seeing some John Deere equipment go by. Lots of it.
Dump beds from Madison County, local John Deere dealer. We've got gators. And now we have JW Building with their gazebo.
And those people are throwing out candy, and they're protected. They're under shelter.
A little bit. I'm sure they're still getting a little bit wet, though.
Now we see the red tractors, and what does that mean when you see a red one?
That's a Massey Ferguson, Don. Old Massey Fergusons. Farmalls. Those are the ones that long before air-conditioned cabs were ever thought of.
Exactly. These guys are in the rain.
Yeah, and I'm sure they used to have to farm in the rain, too, years ago.
And there's a farmall.
Another farmall, and now we have Tom Bloom with his demo car. I'm sure you'll be seeing him tomorrow night at the demo derby. Tom's always here on Saturday nights. He's a hardy competitor. Next we have Joe Fallert in the parade. Joe is our state representative running for re-election.
Weingarten wants to let you know that they're here.
Weingarten's got a load of kids on their truck. Thanks for bringing them, guys. Hope you're not getting too wet. St. John Ambulance is in the parade this year. They'll be stationed up at the fairgrounds in case anybody gets overheated or has an injury. They'll be there on the premises for anybody that needs first aid attendance, or if, God forbid, you need a trip to the ambulance, to the hospital. Next, we've got some gators, Kubota gators. I'm sure they're not called gators, but they're like a gator with a nice little top on them. She's inside nice and dry. Next, we got some Fair Queen candidates. Marzuko Electric's in the parade. Here we have Courtney Nagger. She's running for Petite Queen. Good luck to her. Zell Fire Department with their pumper. Next we have Bridget Shrimp, who is running for Queen candidate. Bridget Shrimp is the younger sister of Rachel Shrimp, who is a retiring queen.
We got to keep it in the family. You think that we'll have to wait and see?
We'll have to wait and see. I don't know anything. I'm not tipping off any information because I don't know.
We do want to mention the Queen crowning will be at 7:30 this evening.
Correct. Good luck to all candidates.
And we've got an open space here.
Yes, we do, and a nice cool breeze blowing in on us, too.
You're listening to live coverage of the 2008 St. Genevieve County Fair Parade right here on AM 98 and B93.1 FM. Our next entry is moving rapidly forward, and Paula Wilkerson has joined me to talk about each individual entry. Who do we have here?
Well, it's supposed to be the German band.
Yeah.
But I guess they opted out.
It's the German band Wagon.
Wagon. Definitely. Marzuko Electric's got their box truck in here again this year. Thanks for coming, guys.
Is the band in the back of the box truck? Yes, it is.
They are. There they are. There's a 4-H country, 4-H kids. Now we have Nancy, running for junior queen candidate. MFA sprayer wagon. St. John County Extension Office. Glad to see everybody. And the rain has stopped. Next is Kinsey with their pumper tanker. Now we have Natasha Giesler. She's running for Queen candidate. Good luck to you, Natasha. I believe we have another Queen candidate there, Casey. But her sign's just about blown off.
Oh, classic automobile is headed our direction, Paula.
All right. Here's Dave Vincent with his 57 Chevy convertible.
And the top is down.
Definitely.
I think he got a little wet.
Just a little bit. Next we have St. Joseph School in Zell. They brought a wagon full of kids.
And a lot of candy, too.
Oh my goodness, look at all the candy. More candy than we got kids.
And I see the t-shirt gun.
Driven by little Danielle Nagger, the daughter of Jeremy Nagger. Let me tell you, that little girl can handle that vehicle. I've seen her do it. Next we have Jeremy Nagger with his CD Fab rock crawler. He custom designed and custom built that one. If you want to look at something amazing, check it out later at the fairgrounds.
I have seen those in action, and that is incredible.
It is awesome what they can do with those things. And Jeremy has just the mind for that.
I mean, you could take a vertical wall practically, and those cars will drive up an almost vertical wall.
He has one out at his facility that he shows off every once in a while when he has his events. And every once in a while he gets his rock crawler out there and he shows you exactly how it's done.
Well, Paula, looks like we've wrapped up the parade here.
I'm surprised. I guess the rain chased everybody away today.
Well, we're going to stay on the air here for a while because we've got some commercial breaks to take, and we're going to talk about some of the lineup of events for this evening at the St. Genevieve County Fair here in St. Genevieve. Right now, though, let's take a break. You're listening to live coverage of the 2008 St. Genevieve County Fair Parade on AM 98 and B93.1 FM. So you think some entries dropped out?
Oh, yeah.
There's some of them back there. They hid.
Are they still coming?
Well, they'll be here in a minute, but it started raining. They just parked them, you know, tractors and stuff.
That's, and here I was
So-
saying I was hoping it was the longest parade we'd ever have. Not even 20 minutes.
Well, I'm gonna run on up there.
I'll be up there.
I'm wet.
Right behind here.
Jim, pay attention. There's nothing out there to look at right now.
You are. Who's paying attention?
We'd like to thank Jim Macklin for handling our camera duties today. So if you saw any dirt or pavement or sky, then, then he did it. He did it.
Hey, am I be up there to
But he's worth every penny we pay him.
It's hard to get good help.
and tell them I'll be at the demo. They'll be in on that too. They're looking for me.
I just can't get over that. Oh, the rain. The sky was ominous. Oh, well, at least traffic didn't get tied up for a long period of time.
Look at it. Alan's going to get everyone he can.
A couple years ago, and the kids just looked at him and walked away, and I was like, you picky little things.
Welcome back to our live coverage of the 2008 St. Genevieve County Fair Parade here on AM 98 and B93.1 FM. We've been told that there may be some more entries coming by our position. Apparently they stopped when the rain hit.
Well, the guys on the tractors, they took cover, I suppose. I don't blame them. Sky was quite ominous. Wasn't sure whether they were going to get struck by lightning. But they are proceeding to the fairgrounds, slowly but surely.
Okay, very good. We are in front of City Hall, Paula Wilkerson and I. She is the parade chairman here at the 2008 St. Genevieve County Fair Parade. And there's a lot of activities coming up this evening. And we do want to remind folks that There's plenty of parking on the fairgrounds, but motorists are warned not to park at the Riverview at the Park Care and Rehabilitation Center next to the fairgrounds. I know they've got a sign up saying don't do that, and I guess if you do that, you may face some consequences.
I'm sure they would, but I'm hoping that everybody that comes tonight is able to park on the fairgrounds. We have ample parking. There's plenty of parking on the top and the lower fields, down in the ball fields. And just be careful when you get ready to leave this evening. The ground might be a little slippery. You might slide a little bit. You might spin a little bit, but if you just take your time, you'll get out of there safe and sound.
Exactly. Okay. We do want to mention some of the activities that are coming up today. Matter of fact, this morning, they've already had the amateur wine competition. That was held this morning. The Fair Queen Public Speaking and Talent Competition. The Rabbit and Poultry Barn opened at 1 o'clock for entries, and the Fair Queen Fashion Competition was held at 2 o'clock this afternoon. So there are some events that already are underway.
Yes, and the Queen candidates are very busy with, they have an all-day schedule today. They start first thing in the morning with the competition, and they have their dresses. Then they come in the parade. But they have an all-day. And here we have an old John Deere headed towards the fairgrounds.
And I see an equestrian unit is coming down, making its way up here, so they'll be passing us soon. Speaking of equestrian, the horse show will be in the horse arena at 6:30 this evening, and they, because of soil conditions, will not be having their speed events, but all the other events of the horse show will be held as scheduled as of right now. Of course, if we get a huge thunderstorm over us, that may change, but it doesn't look like it's going to be too bad. Our radar man is upstairs not looking at the radar, so we don't know for sure what's coming our direction. But at any rate, that's scheduled for 6:30 this evening. At 7 o'clock, there's a beer garden and dance with music by Shell and the Boys, and then the truck pull in the arena at 7 o'clock, and the Fair Queen crowning on the stage at 7:30. Do you know who these equestrians are?
Well, I only had one phone call from one person who wanted to enter some horses. His name was John Wiley, and he brought another young lady with him that was going to participate in the barrel racing this evening, but I'm not sure if that's even going to be going on. I wish him all good luck. Following right behind him is his trusty cleaner-upper, in case we have any.
These guys are starting to move.
Yeah, they're ready to get up to the fairgrounds now. A lot of Alice Chalmers, Massey Ferguson, another Alice Chalmers, and bringing up the last is another John Deere. And we might mention the Antique Tractor and Gas Engine Expo that's set for tomorrow. That should be a lot of fun. That starts at 7. No, it's all day. That's all day. And you need to check them out because these guys have put a lot of time and a lot of effort into these old tractors. You don't just find them like this shape in a barn somewhere.
Oh, I wouldn't think so. I wouldn't think so. A lot of TLC to get them back in this first-class shape.
Exactly.
You're listening to live coverage of the 2008 St. Genevieve County Fair Parade here on AM 98 and B93.1 FM. Paul Wilkerson and Don Pritchard with you on this Friday afternoon. That's gotten a little cooler after the rain moved through it, and the sun is shining back out again now, but it does feel a little better. We're going to take another break. When we come back, we'll continue our look at what's coming up this weekend at the St. Genevieve County Fair here on AM 98 and B93.1 FM. Throw them away. We'll have to make more. We'll make more. Don't worry. We'll make more. I got one. Yeah, you got yours. That Alan can give that to Alan when next time you see him. He went downstairs with the radar. Boy, almost continuous lightning. I could just barely hear the station at times.
Really?
The lightning is almost continuous.
Well, the way that thunder was rolling there for a few minutes.
Well, it's all past us now, I think. And welcome back to live coverage of the 2008 St. Genevieve County Fair Parade here on AM 98 and B93.1 FM, getting close to 5 p.m. And at 5 o'clock, of course, we have the news report, the 5 o'clock report on AM 98 and B93.1 FM. At 5:22 this evening, we'll be going live to Pittsburgh, where the Cardinals are taking on the Pirates. And we'll see what happens there. Maybe they'll have better luck against them than they did the Phillies last night.
Oh, exactly. Go Cardinals.
Yeah. Go Cardinals, beat the Pirates. Okay, let's talk about what's coming up tomorrow at the St. Genevieve County Fair. We mentioned already the Antique Tractor and Gas Engine Expo, which continues tomorrow. It should be a lot of fun for people to see some of those old-timey engines.
All day long. Check them out. They are something else.
The other thing is, this is the next thing we're going to talk about is the traditional part of an agricultural rural county fair, and that is all the animal exhibits and the animal contests and the judging, and this is really what the fair is all about.
You're right, Don, it is, and these kids in our area, in our county, do an excellent job year after year raising these animals, showing them, and if you're lucky enough, you get to take them to the state fair and show them, and possibly win the grand prize there.
And the other aspect of this that I find so unique, and this is because I grew up in Los Angeles County and I didn't really get close to cows until I came out to Missouri. But at any rate, let's talk about the actual sale, the youth auction that happens on Saturday evening. I mean, that is such a neat thing. These kids have put a lot of time and effort and money into raising these animals, and then they bring them out to the auction, and the community responds.
The community response is wonderful. We have a lot of corporate sponsors who buy these animals, and then they end up, when they have them butchered, they have company picnics with them, or they donate them to food pantries, that such. But the other thing that's heartbreaking is these kids have raised these animals from they were very young animals. And it breaks their heart to turn loose of them that day. There's some big tears sometimes out of those kids, because that's their best friend that they're letting go.
Exactly, that's exactly right. But I found it just so fascinating to watch these, what I consider to be very slight, small, especially the girls,
yeah,
and the boys, trying to pull these steers that outweigh them, what, 10 to 1?
Almost 10 to 1, you're right. It's just like if you have a big dog and a little kid. They know when they're supposed to move and when they're not supposed to. They sometimes have a mind of their own, but generally they do mind. They know if that whip's out there, they're going to get swatted, whatever, and they're able to handle them.
And so the youth auction, and even if you're not buying one of those animals, it's just fun to watch. Who do you have as your auctioneer? He does such a neat job.
Well, in the past we've had Oakenfooses in there, but I'm not for certain who they have this year. The Oakenfooses have done it for numerous years, I'm sure.
Yeah, but it's really neat to see them do it. I mean, they do a dandy job.
Right.
Okay, also coming up tomorrow is the kids events, starting with the bicycle and tricycle rodeo on the baseball parking lot. We hope they were able to find someone to fill in there, because I understand that was an event that they had to find someone to fill in.
Well, I'm hoping they did. At the last meeting, we were still iffy whether it was going to be handled or not. I've been running around getting the parade organized today, so I'm not really sure what they've had to do with that.
They have the antique tractor parade, so all these antique tractors that went by here so fast will be going through the fairgrounds. You can see them again.
Right.
Exactly. Then the cow chip lotto. This is fun.
Oh, the cow chip lotto.
Can you describe, Paula, in detail how this cow chip lotto works?
You take a grid. That's pretty much what it is. It's a grid. They mark it off with lime, And then they bring one of the steers from down in the livestock barn, and they walk them through this grid and wait for them to have a bowel movement or a bull movement. And if you're the lucky one that gets that little piece of stuff on your square that you bought, then you're the lucky winner.
Isn't that something? I never would have thunk it.
No, I wouldn't have either. I'm like you, Don. I grew up in the city. Dad had rabbits and chickens, but he didn't think a girl needed to be down there around the barn, just my older brothers. But I'm a country girl at heart.
Okay. You're listening to live coverage of the 2008 St. Genevieve County Fair Parade here on KSGM, Chester St. Genevieve, KBDZ, Perryville. After the Cow Chip Lotto at 2:30 on Saturday, it's the quarter scramble in the show barn. That's always fun. See those kids digging through a mound of sawdust looking for that quarter.
And it's surprising how that quarter will shine through that sawdust, too. It pops out there, and they grab it just as quick as it shines.
Another kids' event is the Turtle Derby.
The Turtle Derbies. I remember when we used to do the Turtle Derbies with the Cub Scouts. You cannot predict which way that turtle is going to go. And sometimes they just sit there because they're so hot and they've been in a box for all day. But yeah, the Turtle Derby is really something to see. The kids love that. The kids love getting them turtles and putting them in that Turtle Derby.
And then, of course, tomorrow night is the Demolition Derby.
That's the big crowd getter. We always get them in for that. And hopefully this weather will go along with us this year, and we won't have to postpone or do much work to the track because that gets expensive.
The beer garden and dancing and the music of Gene and Mike Operle tomorrow night at 7 o'clock.
Correct, and that's in the grandstand area, the show barn.
There goes the fire department.
Yep.
Back the other way. Okay. On Sunday, you've got that big tractor pull. You've got the co-ed sand volleyball tournament, the public speaking contest, and then the horseshoe tournament. Can't miss that.
Can't miss that. That's always the same people that always show up every year for that.
Of course, the tractor pull is on Sunday, 10 o'clock in the arena, and free admission to that, by the way. There's some more kids events. You've got the 4-H and open exhibits all day. You've got the petting zoo and the small animal barn through most of the day. The magic show at noon.
Magic show. We were lucky to get somebody to come in this year. It's something different that we haven't had before.
Another Cow Chip Lotto on Sunday, and you've got the pedal pull. That's kind of fun to watch.
Oh yeah, those kids are tough little troopers when it comes to that pedal pull. They want to pedal their hardest and be the winner.
You bet. Also, the youth building exhibits are released at 5 o'clock, and then the finale, the Greased Pig event.
The Greased Pig. Who could miss that? When you try to catch that slippery little devil, he's going to elude you. But just try your best.
Yeah, that's fun to watch.
Oh, definitely.
Well, Paula, I want to thank you very much for filling in on such short notice and doing such an excellent job as my co-host for our 2008 coverage of the Fair Parade. I think it was a pretty good parade, albeit a little bit rained on, but hopefully everything else would go well.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed, but I warned people that the weather might not cooperate with us, and sure enough, Mother Nature had to have her say so.
Just a little quick shower right in the middle.
Just
right
a quick
in the middle
one.
of it. Yeah, isn't that something? But again, thank you so much. Paula Wilkerson.
Thank you, Don. Have fun, everybody.
You bet. She's the chairperson of the 2008 St. Genevieve County Fair Parade. Now she can relax the rest of the weekend.
No.
Her event, no?
No. We shoot T-shirts out of the T-shirts that we're wearing, we shoot them out into the audience all weekend.
So you got to still be busy.
Yes.
Okay, but the big event for you is
The big event
in the
is
books.
done.
All
My
right.
big headache's over.
You going to turn it over to your husband next year?
Probably not.
Okay, you enjoyed it.
Yes, I enjoyed it.
That's
Yes.
great. Again, thank you so much, Paula Wilkerson, for being my guest with us on our live coverage of the 2008 St. Genevieve County Fair Parade. And I think that will wrap up our coverage for this Friday afternoon. It's a little past 7 after 5 at AM 98 and B 93.1 FM. Again, we have Cardinal baseball coming up at 5:22 on the Big B, and then our 5 o'clock report will continue on AM 98 KSGM. For Paula Wicklerson, I'm Don Pritchard, and you've been listening to live coverage of the 2008 St. Genevieve County Fair Parade on AM 98 and B93.1 FM.
Right there, it's hooked onto Jeremy's trailer.
And of course, Channel 98 in St. Genevieve.
Jeremy Nagger's is gripping.
See you at the fair.